Hello, in this video we're looking at an endgame build for the mage in Stranger of Paradise, but just a heads up, this is effectively a weaker and slower sage. It might not feel like much, but that is mathematically what it will be. Just like looking at that intellect for a moment, I'm sorry, timestamps in the description. Looking at that intellect on the right side, I have 1161. And if I were to go over to Sage, same gear, I just get an extra 200. Plus, I have the more attack speed. I'm sorry, casting speed. Even the Black Mage, I would have gotten the more intellect. So just kind of the heads up there that it kind of sucks. But I'm sorry, let me back up. I should start this video over, but I'm not going to. We'll keep going. So, looking at our gear, we have our mage where we spent our job master points just grabbing the mage just purely for intellect at this point. We're not this specific version of the build, we're not using any Mace Combo abilities. In addition, Sage still does that part better when it comes to the intellect ones and the spirit ones. The spirit realm. Sage, we happen to have, we haven't really touched too much compared to the Sage build video. So the Sage and the Black Mage, 800% for the stats, anything beyond. But I did, for some reason, have a Red Mage 250% to reduce the casting charge time. Uh, and I think I was doing that for a Mace build and accidentally screwed up and happened to affect the gear that was on my legs. So and we're still using the Hermes Sandal for the increased attack speed or casting speed while your when I say attack speed slash casting speed, I really mean the animation itself is quicker. So let's say you had charge time reduction minus 1000%. You still have an animation speed while casting. But that Sovereign of the Skies, Dragoon 400% during Lightbringer or Chaosbringer or Dimension Bringer, uh, speeds that animation up so that you can start charging your next spell sooner. And then as a side effect, you happen to also charge a little bit faster. So, Varied Glass Cannon. We're still using Phoenix because our spells do not count as combo abilities for whatever reason they were supposed to based on the patch notes, and I kind of feel lied to. But whatever, man. And so we're going to use Phoenix in case we do die, because we will, that we have one chance to survive and just start all over, or try to. Again, things are going to be really rough if we do get killed. Now, in terms of which mage we're using, probably should have started there first. I'm using the Accursed Champion that has prismatic magic, not the demonic fusion that an Accursed Champion probably should have. They have prismatic magic, like across all of the colors, and because they can use Blizzard and Thunder and Dark and Osmos, something that you think demonic fusion, dark and osmos, where you're draining the mana right out of somebody. You think that demonic fusion would have that, but no. Scholar General has demonic fusion, because cure, dia, regen, asuna, clearing status ailments is something that demonic fusion is only capable of. In case you can't tell at this point, uh, I have a bone to pick with this because I did submit it twice. So the yeah, Accursed Champion. The I really should just start recording this video over again, but I think I'm getting like looser tongued on these videos and a little crazier. Um, let's go. So gear effects, we have damage dealt magic and charge time reduction magic. Because for some reason I didn't actually auto dismantle these or get rid of them, and so now we're making a mage build out of it. I have intellect during Lightbringer damage dealt, magic damage dealt, and remove on practically every single piece of gear except for the gear that I didn't actually have charge time reduction for. Just like I don't have it in my inventory. It just or it's of a different color that I just don't feel like changing all my gear to find out. Could I make that work? And what? Nah, it's okay. So, uh, MB cost magic. We're not actually going to benefit from this with the way we're playing. It's do or die in Chaosbringer. We still have our status ailment resistance 100% from our gear and our evocation and ultima class. And yeah, the gear is very adventurous here. Same gear as the Sage. Sorry. Except for the Red Mage 250%, just to speed things up. I lost about 14 intellect when I switched over, so not so bad to be able to reduce the charge time. Now, uh, command abilities, I have Teleport to try to survive. I have Barrage because it might help out. Just a little. And I have Lunatic because I'm going to chant fast like a raving lunatic, get that extra attack speed. Good stuff there. Faster animation. I really should have Void Knight 600% across this, except that I don't know how often I'll actually have more than 4 bars of MP, but we'll find out. So Chaosbringer reduces the MP cost of all your spells down to 0, and the part that we're not really taking advantage of is that there is a break damage boost and reduces the enemy's max break gauge. The second job, we have Monk for the focus, so that even though it says increases your break damage dealt, that's also your regular damage dealt. Supercharge. I'm sorry, I call it focus. Technically in English, it's called supercharge. But that's going to boost your damage. In this case, magic damage. Uh, and we'll keep going. Uh, As for the job affinities themselves, the ones that I'm really trying to take advantage of are the Summoner 600%, so that it doubles the effect of my uh, Leviathan Primary Blessing, which is on my gear. I'm sorry, it's on my lump of pure envy. I don't know what kind of lump drops off of Kraken, but whatever it is, we have this lump in our possession, and it's giving us the power of Leviathan. And that power being increases the MP recovery and the max MP gained on a soul shield or a soul burst. So we're doing that. We're doing this. So the other thing that's happening is we have Void Knight, the 50% and 120%. That increases your MP limit boost rate so that when you do Soul Burst, you get even more max MP going. And I'm sorry, let me back up. During Chaosbringer, you cannot build max MP any other way other than Soul Bursting, at least while you're outside of Extra Mode. Um, Extra Mode has a weird different set of rules, and I don't fully know what's going on there, but we're going to keep going. So, increase MP limit boost rate. That helps your Soul Burst MP recovery even further. And if I really wanted to optimize this, I'd have, what's that word called? A Breaker 120%. But I don't. Uh, and then the other thing that we have going on is the Red Mage 250%, so that we can charge our focus a little bit faster, because we can't refresh the buff the way we can on the non-Chaosbringer builds. Or without Cyclic Warrior. Um, the job. And then we have the Samurai 250%, so that we get that damage boost when we do chain cancel. So maybe while a boss is spawning, we just do like a little squat, and then like, hey, I'm switching to mage. And then we start casting whatever evil spells that a prismatic mage would be casting. Uh, Now, if I drive that into the ground, I do not apologize, because that is the way I feel about that. So we have Gambler 120% also, so that when you do chain cancel, oops, wrong thing. When you do chain cancel, you recover a random amount of MP based on your luck. It doesn't say your luck, but it does influence based on your luck. And sometimes that gives us a surplus, sometimes it screws us over. It's random. But something else that helps while we're on the world map, or if you're co-oping, or if you just get really effed up and you die, that you have a few things going to help you gradually try to get back on your feet, but not super much. One of those is the Cyclic Warrior 250%. when you're below 2 bars of MP, your max MP starts to get back up to 2 bars. And then another thing is, if you really are going for it, trying to survive, uh, you can do a chain cancel at some point and try to get max MP back along with I'm sorry, thanks to Summoner 120% and 50%, along with the Gambler 120% and 50%. Uh, and then one other thing, and I'll come back to the gear effects for a moment. One other thing that if you really are trying to survive, there's this concentrate on the mage side that increases your MP recovery limit while you're casting magic. And what that really is while you're casting magic, as a mage, you start recovering MP. Just just holding the button, you start recovering MP. Uh, as long as you're not like in Chaosbringer. And so that's the way we start trying to get back on our feet. It's going to be very slow, it's going to be very painful, and we're probably just going to die if that happens. I'll just die. But that is our like super backup. We get royally screwed, but you don't want to throw the rift because you don't want to lose like 5 months of progress. Um, but whatever, keep going, Ben. So we have on our gear, we have improved effect focus that helps out our supercharge. And then we have improved effect barrage just to help out that barrage command ability. We have Lightbringer duration so that when we're on our monk, we use Chaosbringer from this job, and that Lightbringer duration is going to make that Chaosbringer last even longer. And then we have buff duration so that we don't have to keep switching back to monk or rebuff as often, which not too much of an issue between boss phases, but I don't like doing it too much, even though I've been doing it for many. Okay, keep going. Soul Burst MP recovery. That helps us build our max MP when we Soul Burst a boss. I happen to have Carbuncle at every single piece of gear because I do have one. I have a Leviathan badge fused over onto my accessory. The Carbuncle bringing out more luck. I keep forgetting to say this. On the remove on the main job is bringing out a crap load of intellect. So if your job has a lot of intellect, remove's bringing out even more of it, just the percentage, even if it's not the primary blessing. Versus like if it's on a job like Breaker, it's not going to get very much intellect, or Berserker. You're not going to have a smart Zerker anymore because Ramu does not bless him with the power of smarts. No intellect on a job that has really low intellect. So only muscle magic for the Berserker. Which reminds me about Ruin, but we'll talk about that some other time. So we have those effects. We even have a little bit of luck across the gear also. And then for some reason we have charge time reduction focus because I'm pretty sure I still don't have an improved effect barrage that fits, or probably I just don't have a blue improved effect barrage. And then I have Inky Envy just in case, because sometimes I might like to throw some ink in the eye. You got some dirt in your eye, and try to get some more damage out that way. But you probably won't see me throw it out because I just don't feel like it. But if you really wanted to optimize your damage, you'd throw it out at some point during the battle, and then you try to chain cancel off of that and start going for your spells. Let's look at our master points before we talk about our allies. I know these videos are going to be long anyway, so we just keep going. Over mage, no less. We have intellect, we have mage job affinity for more intellect, we have ability damage dealt because I want to be able to reliably take advantage of some type of damage dealt. I also have during Lightbringer damage dealt because I'm either in Chaosbringer or I'm probably scrambling and dying. Or about to do another Chaosbringer. On the monk, we have we have luck, we have Lightbringer duration. The luck is there only for Gambler 120%. If you don't have Gambler 120%, you can just kind of say screw it. We have Lightbringer duration, so that we have a longer Chaosbringer. We have Soul Burst MP recovery, so that we get more max MP when we Soul Burst a jerk. And then we have increase MP limit boost rate, so that you get even more max MP when you soul burst, and then we have the buff duration because we don't feel like buffing that often. Now, let's talk about our allies. We have Sophia as a sage, a superior sage that almost has as much intellect as we do without 100 master points in her name. Man. Oh, shoot, 200 master points. So, Sophia is an amazing caster. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Sophia is capable of getting an amazing amount of. Did I just unequip her legs? No, I did not. She still has legs. Leg wear. Pardon me. Focus Ben. Sage is bringing out a lot of intellect, and as a result of the Liberator 600% that we get from the latter half of the second DLC story, she is sharing 12% of our stats with us, even though it's not showing up on our UI. And so that's 120 extra intellect. So my mage is feeling a little bit smarter. And in order to bring out more of that, we are effectively stacking Sage and Black Mage across all the rest of her gear so that she's giving all those extra stats over to us. Just a heads up, this is endgame Mage, so the stat stacking thing is not available until you get really far in the third DLC story. Now, on our gear, she has intellect and spirit and remove across the board. The spirit is originally intended to help other jobs that might be spirit based, but it also happens to help us land status ailments a little bit faster on the enemy, which allows us to, in this case, land like an elemental vulnerability and start doing even more damage for at least until the end of that boss phase. We have Lightbringer duration as well, because, and once I get to the accessory here, she's not wearing those legs. The Lionheart accessory, Invincible. The, what's the word here? When you press the D-pad left or right on a gamepad, still don't know what it is on the keyboard. I tell you, I will look that up before the next video. I tell you this, I'm going to forget. D-pad left and right, you trigger resonance, and during resonance, your allies are they're in a state of their Lightbringer, and so Invincible makes it so that you do not take HP damage during that Lightbringer. And the reason why that's important is that Liberator 600% only works while your ally is alive. They only share stats while they're alive, and so even though having NPC allies increases the enemy's HP and break gauge by 10% per NPC ally, the extra stats you get from the 12% at this rate will it'll be more than the extra HP and break gauge. So to me, it's worth it. It's worth it. And then so that's why the Lightbringer duration is there, so that they last longer, which is great. And then as a side effect, I happen to have Phoenix on my mage, so I can run over after I defeat the boss. Hopefully I do defeat the boss. And then I can use a no potion to revive them. Great. And then they have their, usually they have their resonance back up after that. And then I do happen to have damage dealt magic sigil and MP cost magic sigil because she might cast haste on me, protect, shell, and you might even see an Ultima fly out if the battle goes on too long. So yeah, I love not being able to see what I can, I know she loves casting Ultima, but yeah, I digress. If you really don't want her to cast Ultima, you can throw her to Black Mage, and then she just might cast Meteors instead. But no winning with that. Your second NPC is going to either be, could be either Ashe Tyrant or Jed as a ninja, because they get a lot of intellect that way. And for the most part, same type of gear, but Ashe is, I'm just going to flip through, even though the top two things are just kind of random at this point. I just wanted Ashe to actually punch something instead of just dance side to side with... Yeah, I digress. But Jed with Ninja would have helped too if I focused him more towards the intellect side instead of the agility side, but that's where Ninja also gets just a lot of intellect. Tyrant and Ninja get a lot of intellect, not as much as Sage and Black Mage. And then the side effect of stacking all that Ninja is that they also get a lot of agility too. So, but let's see here. Let's go in, and we're probably not going to do a Rift boss on this. We're going to go with our favorite Tiamat, and we've made the trials very uncomfortable for us, even though I desperately want to reduce at least one of these, but we're going to have it just uncomfortably high. Um, but just realistically, if you're ever doing the world map, Trials 11 is all you really need to do. All you need is kill. So for here, I keep forgetting to talk about the gameplay routine. We're going to do a Chaosbringer on the Monk that has the long duration. We're going to do a Lunatic, a Teleport. Ideally, I should do Barrage after I finish doing a Focus, but I'm not. I also ideally should be doing a Chain Cancel and trying to get my max MP up. But we're going to talk about this and do or die. You might even see me fail. And what kind of build video has the person failing? We would just edit that out normally, but you might see me die, which is fun. So we're going to do Chaosbringer, Lunatic, Teleport. I'm going to start charging my focus, and then I am going to do a Barrage, Chain Cancel, go in, start casting Dark, and just like, ooh, there's a build using Dark? And I can't hear crap with all this stuff going on. But I'm switching to Monk before I rip the heads off. And I'm going to chain cancel my way out. Start casting Dark even before they spawn. Now, you might be saying, okay, that's not fair. It's Tiamat. She can actually stagger. Why don't you fight a boss that can move around? Why don't you fight a boss that can move back? Okay. I just realized there's like 3 Sophias in this fight, or maybe like 12? I don't know how many heads she had. Did you know that the second head... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to tell you each of their names, but that's another video. So, let's go to this next... Let's do 3 more bosses. And then we'll flash the Rift monsters, which will be the same as the, whatchamacallit. So I'm going in. I really should do a chain cancel first. Buffing orders all messed up. Sorry. Oh, crap. I thought I was going to die. No! You got... Can you imagine, like, I am darkness, and then you get so much darkness that you get knocked out? Yeah, that's just what happened to her. Let's give this next person so much darkness that they can't handle it. Where are you? Where are you going to spawn? Oh, you're so fast. You're so fast. That Thundaga... Whoops, did not mean to do that. Astos! No! Get your hands off me! Hey, at least it wasn't a Thundaga, right? Okay. Also, make sure your allies get resonance. D-pad left and right. Walk up really slowly, sort of awkwardly. Watch the sleeves start clipping through stuff. See a cat stretch and start placing their fingers on people's eyes and hope that they don't claw. Let's do a focus. Let's give Darkness Manifest more darkness than he can handle. Dodge the Frisbee. Watch out for super moves. Hope that the cat doesn't step on the power cord and cause the game to die before I finish recording. Please don't do that. I love you. Okay, try to get Barrage going. And give Darkness Manifest more darkness than he can possibly ever manifest. Oh! And try not to die. And then we just go up and maybe like just drain his Osmos. Yeah, alright. Oh yeah. No, you don't have to actually do this last part, but this is how the mage could play out. Granted, the main reason I used Dark was because Sage does Thunder better. So, but yeah, that's how this could go. And we will try to end this video by talking a little bit about the Rift monsters, just so that there is a reference there. Let's see here. Let's go into the Rift. I haven't really gone much further, and the only reason why this build was so quick to make was because we already made it with Sage in some shape or form. So, monsters. The monsters are going to be the horse for intellect, the Ahriman, or the floating eye, for intellect, and the Sage job affinity. I'm sorry, also the horse if you happen to have Black Mage leveled up, which I do not for some reason. The magic damage dealt, and even the MP recovery modifier when you're not in Chaosbringer, but, pardon me, we are in Chaosbringer. The floating eye for Sage, and ideally Void Knight, if we get that high enough, during Lightbringer damage dealt. The Behemoth for the damage dealt to bosses for now. We're not really fully taking advantage of that combo ability stat bonus, so that's fine. But I have it there anyway, because it makes the 60% sounds like it should be amazing. So I'm going to keep it. And then we have the Bomb for the damage dealt to bosses. And then we have Curl for the Tyrant. I'm never going to stop saying that, am I? Like, the next video I'm going to say, Curl! 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 No, stop it. I was doing the llama with hats thing. So, Curl is here for the increased monster quest efficiency, because I don't want to play Mage, and I don't even want Sophia to play Mage so long, so I do want Mage to get up there, which it is getting up there, because somebody has been playing Mage. So, I digress. The Coral is there for that. And then bonus for the White Mage and Tyrant, if you have that leveled up, White Mage, so that you get a 1 chance to revive, and the Tyrant so that you build the status ailments a little bit quicker, start doing damage a little bit sooner, and it also has intellect too. And then just in general, and we're not actually going to go into a rift. Please do not let me go into the rift. This video is already long enough. If before we go into a rift, we would drink a Mega Ether. Also, side note, if you're looking for the pot that you need to give the elixir to, it was right here. It's not always here, but it just kind of blends in. Like, I don't usually see it when it's here. Like, but it's floating. It's there. I'm sorry, I digress. Oh no, my voice, what's going on? We need to stop the video soon. Darn it. Anywho. Hi, I'm back. So we need to drink a Mega Ether. We don't need to, we're going to. And then we could go, do not step into that rift, stop it. Then we would be able to start the next rift with more MP, so that we have a longer, safer Chaosbringer. But, Ben, Stop it. But yeah, anywho, I hope that helps. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But yeah, and when we do the Black Mage, it'll probably just be either Meteor or Flare Star or Flare. Uh, but yeah, uh, I digress. We'll shut this down. Shut it down. Shut it down now. Thanks for watching, and maybe see you next time.